I'm Cyclone, and this is my website definitiveguide.com. It has all my build strategies and now also my layout guides. Now recently we went through Act 2, Act 6, and now we're at Act 7. Now this guide includes two stages. You can just take a look at the overview for optimized pathing, and you can take a look at the specific zones and their specific layout and how you walk across them. Now this video is meant to give you an insight in how I look at the zones and just a quick explanation of the zones for those that have a little bit easier time with explained rather than just having a text form for the explanation. Before we head into that though, real quick, the optimized zone pathing. For the optimized zone pathing, we are starting at the bridge encampment. We're gonna be doing Broken Bridge first. And from Broken Bridge, we're gonna be going to Crossroads. We can't progress yet, so we need to first go to Fellshrine Ruins into Crypt, do our trial 1, get the Maligaros map, at which point we can go back to town. From town we go to the Crossroads waypoint. From Crossroads waypoint we enter Chamber of Sins once. We need to go and do Maligaros Sanctum. And then after Maligaros Sanctum we get the key from Silk, which allows us to do Chamber of Sins 2, where we have another trial waiting for us, and then the exit to the den. From exit to the den, we find Ashen Field. Ashen Field, we then go and proceed and kill the boss. I think it was not Groskul, not Chukuhama. I don't get the boss name. It's the one that possesses the town NPC, the former town NPC. And now would be a good time to do your lab. This is near roughly level 48. You can also delay it till after this act if you want to be a bit higher leveled. But level 47, 48 is enough to do the second lab if you are decently good at the game. Afterwards, we are progressing. We go to Northern Forest, or rather we enter Northern Forest. We have the waypoint. From there we go to the lab. Then Northern Forest, I like to just move up. If I find the entrance to Thicket, I will place a portal in front. Otherwise, I just go to Causeway, go to Vaal City, from where I go to town, use my Northern Forest waypoint, go and on my portal, enter Thicket, clear Thicket. I log, I'm back in town, get all my passive points done, re-enter Vaal City, and then I finish the act by running Temple of Decay 1 and 2. That much for the optimized zone pathing. Let's take a look at the actual run. Here I finally fixed my resistances, which I didn't manage to do in the act before. It also caused a couple of my deaths. Definitely better to do that in Act 6 than in Act 7. In Broken Bridge, we just follow the road. If you need the silver locket for the flask quest, at some point on the road you will find the broken waypoint. So in my case, I didn't need it, so I just zoomed past, follow the road, and you will find the broken waypoint, which you would have found it working in Act 2. And then in the castle, you find the silver locket in one of the corners, instead of the 3 exiles, which you would have found in Act 2. In Crossroads, we just walk, follow the road to the waypoint, collect the waypoint, and then we head south to Fellshrine Ruins. There's gonna be a big theme, just like in Act 2. In a lot of these zones, it's follow the road. Fellshrine Ruins, we follow the road. And we just keep following the road until we go and find the entrance to Crypt. Here again, indicated by the cathedral, what this was supposed to be. Crypt, it's again just like Act 2. We make the imaginary line here. And if the waypoint is below, we follow the opposite wall. If it's the same, we will follow the same wall. And we just use this to navigate. Now, there is slight difference because we no longer need to go to Crypt 2. We instead need to find the exit or the sarcophagus for the hidden passage. Now, in this layout, normally it would have continued, or if it's a dead end, I would have went into this corner. Now in this case it is not, so what I do instead is I head south and I follow in the south corner. If you are unsure in what layout you're in, you can just continue following the wall again. It would have just led you around, but I knew that it was in this corner, so I just looked for the quickest path into that corner. In the second part, it is in the diagonal opposite. So if we start here at the top, we head to the south wall and then we follow the south wall until we see the quest marker. Would have also went this way. Either way is fine. And then we re-enter Crossroads and we walk up to Chamber of Sins. Again, just like in Act 2, the passage, Chamber of Sins, again, just like in Act 2, we look for which way to go to find the the center entrance. We see the waypoint going south there. The left side didn't enter, so we had to turn around and enter from the right side. It's rare that we have to turn around, but sometimes it happens. Now, Maligaros Sanctum, it's one of the zones that I don't have direct access to after I done the campaign. So I don't have any zones practiced on this. The rule of thumb for Maligaros Sanctum, or rather than zones practiced, I don't have an actual image on my website on this. I still need to get that out of the way. Walk to the north edge and then head south first, unless you are directly forced to move north. And you're gonna find a set of small bridges. And we're looking for those. There's gonna be 3 islands and 2 set of bridges, if I remember correctly. So we first check the south one. If this is the dead end, we go back, check the north one. They're most likely going this or this way. And if that doesn't happen, then we go and check the other corners for the first island. Once we have it, we just follow the zone, the path the zone extends. So these is just tiny bridges. They are very similar to the ones we had in Southern Forest. Here's the second bridge. Here's the third bridge. Sorry. I mean, this is kind of not a bridge. The zone is connecting all the way as well. But then we find the boss room. I like to place a portal either in front of the boss room or inside the boss room in case I do die. Or when I do kill the boss, I can quickly leave after the black venom drops. There's 2 mini boss fights. Try to keep on the move in this phase so you dodge his Rolling Blades attack. And then we can just leave. Don't forget to talk to to Silk. He gives you the key to unlock the second zone. And then we Chamber of Sins too. This zone does deviate from its Act 1 or Act 2 counterpart. We still check if we can go south, we still do the loop and things, but based on the position of the trial, the exit is in a different location than it used to be. In this case, I have a south. This is the one that's same. We still have the trial in the northwest. Actually, no, it's not the same. There can be the variant where the trial is west and the exit is also west in this one. So instead of the trial being here, the exit being there, the exit is also here. So after we do the trial, we don't walk back, we continue here, but the rule of how to identify the exit is still the same. We see this room, we see the double pillar, we continue until we see the big room. So notice the differences here. This one indicates we are going in the right direction. This one is the final room. Notice that here it is actual rectangle, the room. So that indicates we're in the right spot. And here we do the fancy skip. I don't actually know how much time the skip takes. We basically, instead of walking around here, we can use lightning warp or blink arrow to dash directly across here. And we do this by aiming in this spot. There's this broken fence here, and we aim above this broken fence between those 2 fences, and then we do the skip. And now we are in the den. The den is a snake pattern. We either start this way or this way. And we just, once we can turn, we go up something like this, or we go up something like this. Again, better. It's easier when you see the whole zone to notice where you have to go. And once you've done a couple of practice ones with this in mind, it is easy to spot the correct path. I do run the Strange Barrel because it is a guaranteed unique. So here we had the start from the top, but the zone opened to the left, so we take the left and we go into this way. The opening. Noticeably here, I didn't take this path because I knew that this was just the boss fight, the reanimated white beast next to a necromancer. So I take the next opening and then I find the exit. Ashen Fields, we just follow the road. I sometimes like to force a level up here if I'm really under leveled. I needed to catch up in XP. But then here we kill. Again, I always forget his name here. I always leave before. So now in Northern Forest, I entered Northern Forest because it placed me right on the waypoint. So I don't need to log. And once I'm on the waypoint, I can go to lab. So now we are in lab part 2. Quick recap on how to lab. We still have these orbs. Just that lab 2 doesn't have the same rules as lab 1. In lab 1, the first one is always on the right wall, and the last one is always a diamond pattern. Starting at the second lab, these rules no longer apply. So we need to check either by looking at PoE lab or any page where you have an image of it, or by checking the tablets. If you have a diamond pattern, you can go either way. If you have one above each other, the one that goes straight is the correct one. So if you have two like this, or more like, actually it's gonna look more like this. You're gonna have them like this. Then we want to go at the right edge. And if you have the two like something like this. Actually, I did it the same way again. Something like this. Then we want to take the left split path if we have the option to take a left split or turn left. So here I went straight because there would have been another one at the right side. It would have been the wrong exit. Then we have first Izaro. And here I want to state, perfect. There we saw that. That's what I wanted to show. In the split second that I checked that, let me turn the time a little bit slower. So I can actually show this. Because that zone is following slightly different rules than the normal pattern. Come on, click on it. Load. So here you see it, exactly what I meant with. We have the sphere here and we have the sphere here. Normally I would have said stick to the right edge. But because we are in a domain walkway, this is a domain walkway, the path is going to be the following. We walk east, and then we walk north, and we're going to have one exit here, which would have been the right wall. But this one is going to lead us into this room. We need to turn, and there's either the exit going to be here, or the exit is going to be here. That is then going to be the correct one. So the first exit we find, we have to check it, because there's a one specific subvariant of the zone where it is the correct one, but it's beyond Giga Rare. At least if I remember correctly. I could also be remembering wrong here. But normally we ignore the first exit and we go for the second one, because the first exit is the wrong one. So here I see this one didn't say Aspirant's Trial, so it is the wrong one. And then I go along here. If you see the wall here, you know that the Dark Shrine, it's a neat buff or additional loot. And then I go to the left exit. Then trap run. Because we just had the left pass, we know that this one is going to be only one exit, which is going to be at the right edge. We have our Isaro, zone number 2. Again, a domain walkway, but this time we have a diamond pattern, so we just follow the zone and gotta check the next exit we see. And then again, because we are in a Zeratorium hold and it is only one exit that we can take, we just follow along the right edge. Finally, Isaro. And that has been lab. Don't forget to grab your Ascendancy. And now we're back to the Northern Forest. Alright, let's talk about Northern Forest. Northern Forest, we want to move to the left side until we see the left edge. The exit to Dread Thicket can be either in the south corner, along the left side, or in the middle, close to the left side. So we're covering 2 variants. By sticking to the left edge and moving up, we leave a portal when we see it. And then we enter the Causeway. If we wouldn't have seen the exit here in to Dread Thicket in Northern Forest, we wouldn't have left the portal. And later when we re-enter the zone, we would have entered from the waypoint, not the portal, and would have moved south to find the Dread Thicket. But because we found it, we can then later just enter via the portal. Causeway has 2 variations. Either it continuously lets you move north or northeast till you hit the waypoint and then a little bit further northeast, or the zone takes a very early southeast turn and then lets you go northeast, then lets you go northwest, and then it's going to turn around and the exit is going to be here somewhere. You can very easily notice it by it literally forcing you to move east instead of northeast. But here we have the north one, so we just keep going up. If we need to avoid, we look for the next passage. Once we see Kishar Star, we can grab it and we enter Vaal City. Alright. Vaal City. It's one of the most dreaded zones for most players, but it's a very, very simple zone. You can run it in less than 20 seconds if you know what you're doing. And it's fairly simple to know what you're doing here. It only has 4 variants, and I go into them all in detail on my 10 layout video, so I will only quickly explain this variant I'm currently in. We move north. Because we see the ledge here, we know that we are in the ledge variant. In the ledge variant, we want to follow the ledge until we are at the long wall, and once we can walk past the long wall, we want to do that. So we're going to do exactly this. We follow the ledge, or we follow the edge of the zone until we see the long wall here. Now, if I would have stepped close to the wall here, I could have seen the waypoint on the other side. Because I didn't do that, because I know it is there, I can just move along the wall here and turn around and enter the middle part. If I would have went here, I might have found an exit up here. But it could have also been that I had to walk all the way around until I found an entrance from the top. So we always turn right if we are in the coastal ledge, coastal line variant. Here I'm looking for boots upgrade. We can do Whalem here, or you do them all in the next zone. And I did grab the necklace because I knew that when I see the necklace spot before the entrance to Dread, on the left side, the entrance to Dread Thicket is right above it. So then I can place the portal there to also get an amulet upgrade later. Here in Dread Thicket, we are really just doing a clockwise or counterclockwise check to the zone until we see all the fireflies and we have killed Griscool. So we go for the fireflies. We go for the Griscool kill. and we continue checking for the fireflies. That's all there is we do in this zone. It's a fairly easy zone. Sometimes you need to search a little bit for the last fly because it is in an off corner or away from the others. Sometimes they're all very close together. When you click the last firefly, so here I didn't check the corner. This is why you go along the corners, because I thought I was at the edge and I moved here and then I had to walk back. This is why you do check that you are along the edge. But once you have all fireflies, you can just leave like this. Logging, Aramir has your 2 passive points. Can do the final tone check. Vendor, everything we don't care about. Forgot to grab my amulet reward. And then we finish the act. Now, Temple of Decay has a very interesting behavior that I only learned once I looked closer at it. The first zone is always south till you hit the big platform, so you're gonna find a big square here. That's gonna either have an exit in this direction, or this direction. And we're just gonna be looking at what direction the square is at. So we just move south. There we are at the big square. We are looking for the exit and move south. And then we're just turning right and we're gonna be finding the exit, the first stairs here. In the second zone, we're again gonna have a big square here, which gonna have 4 bridges. So we are going the zone here and we're gonna enter through this bridge and we're gonna leave through this bridge and we're gonna go there. And it's gonna be an 8 pattern or an infinity pattern for the zone if you would explore everything. So here I look at it and then I take the not blurry board. I enter, I move diagonal, and I exit. I'm not going straight through the square as it will take longer. And I again just follow the wall up until I hit the stair. Now we're gonna do this 2 more times, just like now. But the exception is that in this square, which is more diagonal, 2 bridges are gonna be whole and 2 bridges are gonna be broken. And we need Flame Dash, Blink Arrow, Leap Slam, Smoke Mine, or Lightning Warp to dash across the broken bridges. Frostblink and Dash are not good enough to get across that, or don't have enough distance. So we walk the zone over this, we move south or we move north, we go down, and then when we hit the square, we need to dash or we walk the stairs, and then we need to dash the other one or walk the other one, depending on what we did on the first one, and we continue. If you only have Frostblink or Dash or Shield Charge or Whirling Blades, you don't have a big dash skill, you will need to go across the square in the center and then turn up. Or if you start from this direction, of course, it's the opposite. It makes sense again when you see it here. I move across, I find the first bridge, the second bridge is broken, I dash across it, I then move until I hit the corner, where I find it. So this what I moved in a W pattern basically. And then I do it from the top. I have a broken bridge. The next bridge is whole. And I move across till I hit the edge. And then I move south and I find the stairs. Now on the third one you see here these purple glow. This purple glow you see here everywhere is an indicator that you are on the final layer. So we're moving, we ignore the first one, we take the second exit north, and then we're gonna find a bridge to the boss. And now we fight the boss. It's good to stand in this corner. If you stand in the corner next to the boss, only when the boss faces you for his laser beam phase can the boss actually target you, at which point you just dash into the other corner. Here the boss went in the direct immunity phase is a bit unethical from the boss, but it happens. And then we can just kill the boss. And now we can move to the next act. Again, just like with everything else, I've been rushing these videos because there's really little to explain and I go through the zones at a fairly fast pace. We spend like 20 minutes or less per act now. But if you have any questions, if anything was too fast, feel free to ask and I can explain it in slower detail. You can message me on Discord, on YouTube, and on Twitch during a live stream. And all this being said, have a lovely day, and I'll be seeing you in my next video live stream. Goodbye.